Hey, this is Stu at Bitcoin Fi, and I wanted to put out a quick bonus special episode today. So I'm casting another pod, and the Super Bowl was yesterday, and stuff happened. I've never watched a full football game. I hardly understand football. It's just never been my thing. I grew up in a place where we didn't have a team really close by, and I just never had any interest. It wasn't a thing in my family. But I wanted to talk about the Coinbase ad that went viral, one of the more genius marketing plays ever, I think. About 117 million people were watching the Super Bowl from one estimate that I saw, and Coinbase spent upwards of about $10 million for a 60-second commercial featuring just a QR code bouncing around the screen. And it seems like Coinbase won the Super Bowl as far as engagement. There was a few things I wanted to point out with this ad that made it unique. The first thing is that there was no distractions. It was also long enough for people to find their phones and scan it. It had this retro feel of like a DVD player where the DVD logo was like bouncing around and you're hoping it hits the corner, which it does hit in a very satisfying way right near the end. So, for anyone that has watched The Office, there's a funny clip about this in a meeting. I'll link that in the show notes, but Coinbase could track conversions really easily. And I just wanted to let you know and drop this episode today because if you are still sitting on the sidelines and haven't gotten any Bitcoin yet, you can get $15 in free Bitcoin from Coinbase at a website. It's drops.coinbase.com. That will also be in the show notes. If you miss that time or you're listening to this in the future, you can still get $10 of Bitcoin from my referral link if you buy $100 of anything. And I also think they just normally give $5 to anyone who signs up, but that might be contingent on you buying $100 of something too. So just want to let you know I have no affiliate relationship with Coinbase, but this is just a way to get off the sidelines with $15 of free Bitcoin. I also wanted to talk about two potential downsides to this ad that I had come across and also thought about myself, but the Coinbase website crashed. About 20 million people went to the site in the first 1 minute of the ad playing, but it really is a testament to how well this ad worked. Maybe they could have or should have scaled it up better. I'm sure that they probably could have gotten more resources allocated from whatever cloud service they use, but for whatever reason, maybe they didn't anticipate so much engagement or underestimated somehow. But yeah, they had to throttle their web traffic for a little bit, and then it got better. Pretty cool, pretty high engagement. They were able to track all of that and just kind of actually have some data on the results of that ad. Now, one other thing that is notable is that some QR codes can be dangerous. There was a cybersecurity expert I saw that chimed in on LinkedIn saying that if this link was malicious, it would have been a huge hack. So just know that and be careful with random QR codes that you see around. I think most of the time I see them in restaurants as like a online menu, but just know that this is something that hackers can use, and they might just put a sticker of a QR code. You might be curious about what it is, and just know that it is not out of the realm of possibility that a hacker, wherever you are and whatever you're doing, wherever you see it, may share a malicious QR code where you think a legit one should be. So that could even be at a restaurant if they like put it over the old QR code with something that goes to their malware or something. So that is just something to be aware of. As an IT guy, I'm always pretty careful about this stuff, but there's another exciting part with Coinbase and what they're doing. They're giving away $3 million worth of Bitcoin to three different people. So that's $1 million of Bitcoin for three people. And if you already do have a Coinbase account, you can opt into this promotion. They are going to let people know towards the end of March. So if you have an account with Coinbase, go into the app, go into the website, opt into that, and update your security while you're at it. If you haven't been in for a while, get your two-factor authentication set up, whitelist some addresses, just make sure that it's all buttoned up tight and that you have a strong password on there. But yeah, so at today's price, this is about 22 or 23 Bitcoin that three people are going to win each. So 23, 23, 23, something around that, depending on what the price does and when this drawing takes place. I would just have to say that this is something that is pretty easy to do. It's life-changing money, and the odds are way better, and I guess you could say less immoral than the lottery. because there's still not a ton of people that own crypto in the US. It's a small percentage. Okay. So that's another thing of note. And I've already done that. And yeah. But on that thought, it is pretty fun to think about what you would do with the money. And I know that if we won this, then my wife would definitely want me to sell some, just enough to like pay off our mortgage and be totally debt free and whatever. And I'm a little bit less that way. I think if I had $1 million worth of Bitcoin, what I'd probably do is transfer it to Celsius because I could borrow 25% against it into dollars. So if I had $1 million in Bitcoin, I could borrow 250,000 at 1%, and it would only cost me $2,500 a year. And with that, I would probably pay off my rental, which would give me a nice cash flow of about 1,000 a month after my expenses and my HOA and whatever else I have to pay, repairs. So all the extra cash flow would just go back to paying back that Bitcoin loan. And the reason why I would do this is 1% a year versus my rental is at 4.25% a year. My rental payments are $700 a month. If I could trade a $700 payment on that mortgage for something that was $200 a month, then I would totally do that and put that cash flow back against the debt. Still would want to be debt free eventually, but this would just be me kind of hyper optimizing against it. And it is a small mortgage, so I've definitely thought about doing this anyway. So, anyway, that's all I really wanted to share on today's bonus episode. And I'm going to be cranking up some more content in the next few weeks. I'm going to be talking and following up more about ways to fight inflation because inflation is coming at 7.5% for the month of January. Again, this is a new record in the last 50 years or so. We haven't seen anything like this. I want to share ideas for how you can start to manage this and do what you can to stretch your dollar and secure your financial future. So I'll have some episode coming out about that, along with a way to get some free Bitcoin and a retirement account with this app. Everyone should have this app that does not have a Roth IRA, I think, that is not contributing to a IRA. Like if you're just doing a 401k, great, keep doing it. But here's something you can do to get retirement money. So I'm excited for that episode. Look for that on Monday. Look for the inflation one probably the week after. And I've got a few more interviews coming up. Appreciate all the support. Thanks for sharing the show. And I will be back with you soon. Remember that financial independence is doable.